I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What exactly are we talking about?
Politics, sports,
education.
We'll tell you anything you want to hear.
We talk, you listen.
Big's Golf Talk.
Well, here you all are, waiting to hear my broadcast. How very nice of you.
Big's Golf Talk.
America is talking
and yakety yak.
blah, blah, blah.
It's all about talk.
A place for information, advice, golf news, golf reviews, and of course, golf humor.
Do you know who this is?
Big's Golf Talk.
Comes highly recommended. You're gonna feel better if you talk to him.
That's the fact, Jack. Now we'll talk.
Connect with Big's Golf Talk on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at Big's Golf Talk. Subscribe with us on YouTube and iTunes, Amazon Music, and the Google Play Music Store. We're also available on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all your Alexa devices. Our website is www.bigsgolftalk.net or .com, BIGGS, golftalk.net or .com. I am John Quick, Big John Quick, and he is Bill Cuevas, the golf father. He is on the right side of me here on Big's Golf Talk. BGT 2.0 on the Ignite Golf Network. Hope everyone is having a great start to their spring and getting some golf out there and all that stuff. I know in New Mexico, the weather's starting to get better and starting to get warmer. Here in Arizona, it's always a beautiful day in Arizona, and it's getting to be that hot, those hot days. So I want to play some golf out here early in the morning, and twilight is probably the best time to play golf out here. And it's kind of the opposite here in Arizona, where your spring, your fall is essentially your more reasonable days of rounds of golf in some parts of the country, in the Midwest, East Coast. Here in the Southwest, essentially, summertime is your downtime for golf. Believe it or not, because
that's because it's 120 degrees.
It's 120 degrees.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can't keep enough water unless you got an intravenous bag hooked up. There's no way. So that unless you want to lose weight, you can go play 3 holes. You probably drop about 30 pounds by the time you get to the third hole. So yeah, I can see that. That's crazy. So
Bill, you had the week off last week. Rumors had it that you were scouring the grounds and having some cheap lunch at Augusta National. I don't know if there was some truth to that or not.
Yeah,
but I'll tell you what. I mean, you could get a pimento cheese sandwich, and you could get an ice cream sandwich, one of those peach ice cream sandwiches out there, and a beer all for $7. I mean, I
don't even think it was that expensive. So we had the Golf Writers meeting. So it was a lot of people. So it's the annual meeting, giving awards and stuff like that. So I guess the first they handed out tickets afterwards. After the meeting was done, they had the people from the Masters there, and they gave us tickets. They gave us, I guess there were day passes for the grounds, and they gave us everybody. Well, not everybody. I think they gave up to, I'm not sure if it was like 35 or 40 people that they didn't give everybody, but the first 40 or something like that got the passes to walk the grounds and stuff like that. But when we started doing it, like I wanted to go on the line. Yeah. They have a concession line, and then they have a gift line. That gift line was ridiculous. It just kept going and going and going. And people were spending thousands of dollars, not hundreds, thousands. And I think the
You
most
have to. I mean, you know that's your Christmas shopping. I mean,
yeah.
the stuff that they have there you can't get anywhere
Well,
else.
let's put it
And
this way.
no other time of the year.
No, like I think the biggest item there was the gnome. They had two gnomes. They had a little gnome and a big gnome for like $85. By the time we left the grounds, you could search that gnome. People were selling them for $400. You had people that weren't even leaving the grounds with their stuff because they have you shop, shipping, and a shipping building literally right next door.
Yeah, right.
There was this one guy, he must have dropped like 20 grand easy on goods, and they were all being shipped out. It was I've never seen anything that crazy that they would do. So they did that. I didn't get a gnome. I waited online and I wanted to get a gnome, and I guess they were limiting how many they would come out every day. So no gnome for me. They did have food everywhere. Everywhere you walk, there was food. And that was the fast. I mean, they had, I don't know how they did it as fast. You would be on a line, it would say 10 minutes from this point, and 2 minutes later you had your food. I mean, they didn't have enough seats to sit down and eat, but the food was like the cheapest ever. It was. I mean,
I see the menu prices.
It was. I think well, I don't drink. I don't drink. So I think the most expensive thing that I could have had was maybe $200. Yeah, $2 maybe. But they had and actually one of the things that I didn't need because I didn't know that I was going to walk that much. I needed Advil badly. Yeah. So they sell Advil there, and you get those little packets at the grocery store, $3-4. They had them there for 75 cents. I mean, so everything there was realistic, and even in the shop, for the stuff, it's like you going shopping. I don't think it wasn't reasonable because t-shirts were maybe $20-$25. The other one, regular polos, 40, 50, depending on what you want. Hats, $20-$30. So everything was moderately priced. I wanted a gnome. And then the thing is, they had like a monopoly on the chairs.
Yeah.
They had chairs, so you could sit down. You need a master's chair. But they weren't expensive. I think they were under $30 to get a nice chair. So they did have that.
Well, I just think of it. I mean, the reason why they kept it so reasonable, too, is if you sell out of them, well, that's where you're making your money at.
Absolutely.
If you have them for $75 and you got 25 left in stock after the tournament's over, well, then you're
there's nothing going to be left over. And then the thing is, I think they make their money on the tickets because I don't know, but every day those tickets go up. So if you got Monday, Tuesday, less expensive. Thursday was over $2,000.
Let's not forget, Augusta National itself is an extreme private course. I mean, it's not even open
talk about extreme. No phones.
Right.
No phones. I'm like, what?
Yeah, actually either have to have a regular camera or they sell those disposable
and
cameras.
The only days that they allow camera is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Other than that, there's no cameras unless you're an official photographer and you have those credentials. Right. Other than that, nothing. So you go in with nothing. And then they had this neat thing. I was walking and now I have no phone, which made me feel uncomfortable. It's like, here's your baby, take it. And they have phones. They have regular phones, free phones. You literally walk and they have a rack of phones.
Right.
It's like you're in prison and you pick up a phone and you can actually dial the number if you remember the number, because it's not like, hey Siri, call this. Sorry, my phone's already picked that up. But it's not like that. So you actually have to remember the number to call somebody. So it's really crazy. I mean, you have to sign this thing when you convert everything over. Because we had our thing. We had a card for our meeting, for the annual meeting, right?
Right.
So you had to turn over your card for the other card for the ticket, and then they make you sign. You have to sign a waiver. You won't do this. You won't do that. You won't post. You won't broadcast. You can't do nothing. There is absolutely not. They had people there. I think, my God, I've never seen so many different types of security. They had agents, regular police, you name it, they had it in there. And for the most part, most were friendly. There was a few that, I was watching them, intermingle with people. And it was kind of rough watching that, because you're expecting a different experience. But when somebody's micromanaging literally everything that you do, and that thing, was kind of rough watching it sometimes, because some of the things were like, you have to walk with your badge. So the thing that they give you, that thing has to show all the time. And if it doesn't show, you're going to get stopped by one of those hundreds of security people that are walking around looking at everything. And it's like, we ended up having the meeting that we legitimately have. Excuse me. And then the guy goes, "Oh, when you turned over your other card, you had to leave." It's like, I was using the restroom. And he's like, "You have to leave." And I'm like, "Okay." We just finished the meeting and turned over. He goes, "Okay, but I have to escort you out the building." And he did that to all of us. Anybody he caught with the card that they gave us, he escorted. Literally, he followed you out the building.
Holy cow.
Dude, it was no joke. I was like, wow. I was like, okay. I was like, I didn't know how to feel. Walking the grounds, going to Amen Corner and stuff like that, that was amazing. To see. We got to take one picture. They take it. You have to stand online and you go around this roundabout and got to walk from one end to the other, and They take the picture. And then they give you a QR code. And then later on in the day, you scan that QR code and your picture's there. That's the only picture that you can have that you can share with anybody. You can't share anything. It's like everything is for personal use, what you can see, and you have to sign. And they have a lot of power. They can ban you from ever going there again. But I think the highlight of the Masters was what's his face? Zach Johnson with his, F-bombing people. That thing was crazy. I don't know how much time we have in this segment. Maybe we can, because Amanda's not going to be with us. So maybe we can talk about it on Amanda's segment, because there was quite a few things that happened there that, came out afterwards, from John Rahm. He had, he telling Spanish newspapers what happened to him, and the situation that came about, people basically saying that Zach Johnson lied, that he wasn't talking to himself. And they gave, firsthand accounts of what happened during that how the hole started, when it first started, how bad he was doing, his negative interaction with the crowd. And then when he finally got that triple bogey on that hole and dropped the F-bomb, when he literally whipped around and he yelled there. We were like, uh-oh. And, people had kids there, because there's a lot of kids.
Right.
And I was kind of jealous. I think I was the biggest thing. I was like, wow, it took over 50 years of my life to make it here. And you got these kids walking around at 3, 4, 8, 9. And I'm like, you guys got to come. And I didn't, but it's cool interaction watching the kids go around there and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat.
As Bill stated, Amanda has the day off today. She will not be joining us today. So, Amanda, on par with Amanda, we're going to use that as our news segment, if you will. And a lot of news to get to from the Masters itself.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that post-Masters news and what is next for Live Golf after the Masters. Who is going from the Masters to Live? Find out next here on Big's Golf Talk BGT 2.0 on the Ignite Golf Network. We'll be right back.